Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we will take a quick overview of the awaiting stock module in Althea suite. So we can find the module situated in inventory management. In the inventory module, you can now look at the awaiting stock module and understand how the stock that is incoming, which has not yet been received in the warehouse, how that's spread across different purchase orders, stock request, and transit requests. So first of all, we can segregate all the list of items that have been received over different categories. So we can receive and we can actually segregate our products based on the category that we want to look out for. We also have different filters that can be usable by you, like a checkbox filter. This is a category tree that can be applied. Like if you want to segregate your products based on a particular segment or a particular subcategory, that can also be useful. Apart from these, you get checkboxes here, which tell you what type of stock is actually being awaited. So it could be either a pending purchase order, so the order items which have not been completed yet. So you'll be able to look at all those list of items by checking on that box. You can also sort through all the pending stock requests. So these stock requests which have been generated but the items have not been received yet. You can also find them here. So in the pending purchase order module, we'll be able to first of all look at the items, their quantities that are pending, the purchase order date, the purchase order number, the vendor information, if there is a preferred vendor attached to them, and from which warehouse is actually they have to be received in. You can also find something called as lead time, which is something that can be attached to every item uniquely. This helps you intuitively understand over a period of time when the product has to be purchased from the vendor. So this can be a great tool for analyzing the purchase cycle of a product. And along with other details, the purchase pending orders module can be found out here. You can also sort through all the pending stock requests. Again, like I said, so this tells you the list of quantities that were pending along with the warehouse. So from which warehouse it is actually intended, the stock request, and to which warehouse it has to go to. So you can also look at the transit orders. So there might be many orders that might be in transit. So when it's transferring from one location to the other or one warehouse to the other, but it's still on the way. So you are able to look at all those transactions also of the stock. How many quantities have actually been in transit. So from which intended warehouse it has to go out from and what is the receiving warehouse. And you can also sort through a checkbox which tells you only the orders that are existingly present and not the back orders generated by order management. There are some other filters that can be very helpful. That for instance, if you are trying to look at the only preferred vendors that have been created, so your items might already be associated with certain preferred vendors, you can segregate and look at those specific vendor based items only. So in this specific case, when I apply this filter, it's only telling me Jamie's related items, which are specifically attached as preferred vendors for Jamie. So simultaneously, you can also just singularly identify the other vendors also, or use a warehouse filter where you can just look for a certain warehouse. And you can also sort out the products based on their item attributes. So for instance, if there is a product which is a manufactured product, so you would be able, which already has a bill of material defined, so you can segregate those products based on this. So these things are quite essential when we're talking about manufacturing and related functionalities where let's assume that we have a manufactured item moving across from one warehouse to the other. So these item attributes can be very handy to segregate those products and understanding how the awaiting stock is for those respective items. So now we have understood clearly how the products that are awaiting in Althea suite can be distributed over these respective transactions and how we can collectively look at them in an easy way. You will also get a very powerful search. This search option can be used to either search any of these attributes that you see here. You can either search by the item name, a particular document number, or a vendor name, so it displays all the information in a collective way. So this is how we are essentially able to get a good idea of the awaiting stock module. Thank you for your patience.